Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradetolife.com and welcome to this quote of the week video, which will touch base on the topic of placing your attention, placing your awareness on the current undesirable circumstances, on the current seemingly problems in your life, which will of course therefore perpetuate them. So how can we break this loop, and what is relevant, and what has Neville to say about the situation? That is what this week's quote will be about. So with that, let's just dive right in, okay? So here is the quote from Neville Goddard. When you tell me what you want, do not try to tell me the means necessary to get it, because neither you nor I know them. If you try to tell me how your desire is going to be fulfilled, I must first rub that thought out before I can replace it with what you want to be. Man insists in talking about his problems. He seems to enjoy recounting them and cannot believe that all he needs to do is state his desire clearly. If you believe that imagining creates reality, that imagination creates reality, you will never allow yourself to dwell on your problems, for you will realize that as you do, you perpetuate them all the more. Okay, this is very important, and 99% of people out there are not even aware that they do this, right? I'm sure you will agree with me that you have people next to you, that you know people that, constantly talk about problems, constantly talk about the bad news, the bad things in their own lives that happen to them, the current negative relationships and circumstance, the current negative money circumstance or health circumstance. But therefore, they simply perpetuate it. They simply place more awareness. They give more consciousness to that, right? They give more life, more energy to that state, and they will just see more and more of that, right? They see the circumstance, they react, they keep it alive, they talk about it, and that just keeps it alive. So why do we want to do that, right? That's not the way of living of a conscious master of their fate. That's not a conscious person would not live the way. A conscious person that knows about this principle, that knows about Neville's teachings, they would not even allow that, right? They would be very aware, very present, very conscious. And as soon as they would notice themselves and catch themselves dwelling on negative thoughts, negative ideas, negative images, negative states, and unwanted states, right? Undesirable states, they would break that link and go to what they want instead. But they would not dwell and, emphasize the current, undesirable circumstances and the state that they identified with if they don't like it, right? Because that will just keep it alive and they will see more of that. So here's what Neville said, right? If he would talk to someone, right? If I were to talk about someone and this person would tell me, I want this successful business, I want this money success, I want this relationship, I want this health, new health situation, this healing, right? Whatever I want. And then oftentimes you hear people, okay, but before I can get this, I first have to get this, manifest this. Before I can manifest the financial stability, I first have to manifest being debt-free, and all of this nonsense in between. Right, but that is not how the law works. That is not, if we apply this principle with ease, this stuff will simply fall away, because neither Neville nor I nor you know how you will get to the end, and no one knows the means necessary. Right, but as soon as you go into the end state, that state has all the means necessary to express itself. Right? Check out the video I did called "The State Has All the Means Necessary to Express Itself." I linked it above right now. Because then this, first of all, falls away, right? You don't know what exactly will happen. You don't know the exact bridge that you will go through in order to encounter the manifestation. The only thing that you can do is go to the end, right? There is no proof. There is no evidence. You don't have proof for it in your life right now, and that's okay. Your mind has no reason to believe that it is even possible. But nonetheless, you still go to the end. You still assume the end. Not with repetition of affirmations, but simply by really identifying with it, by making that end state natural, right? The key word here is naturalness, because your inner nature, your inner state has to express, and it will always be reflected in your life. It has been always like that, it currently is like that, and always will be like that. But now you can make it consciously. Now you can make your desired state consciously natural, and as soon as you made it natural, like Neville said, right, the means necessary to and everything that will happen in between, no one knows that. So don't even think about that, right? So you can't know exactly how your desire will be fulfilled. You don't know the exact steps. You can forget about that, right? The how is not relevant. The how is not up to you. The how is not something that you have to worry about. And even the actions that you will take in between, this is not something that you have to stress about, right? Check out the video I did called Should I Take Actions or Not? This will cover this question on what you need to do in the manifesting process, okay? And then here is the interesting part, right? A lot of people, right, they insist on talking about their problems, right? So people say, oh yeah, I struggle with this business. I struggle to increase it. I struggle to get more sales. Or my job, okay, I struggle. I have this job that I don't want. I don't like to work for this company. Or in my relationship, I don't have the current relationship that I want. I don't have the desired type of relationship. I'm still lonely. There's no movement. This is not working, right? Or for a health situation, I still have this problem with my leg, whatever it is, right? They talk about the problems. And what they do is they keep it in their awareness. They keep it in their consciousness. They put their awareness again on the problem, on the current circumstances, on what is right now manifested. But they don't realize it. Therefore, they see more of it. They even stabilize that state. They just remain in that state. What is the wise way is to let the circumstances be there. They're not final, but consciously place our awareness, place our attention on what we actually do want instead, and making that natural. Not focus on the desire itself, but on us being the version that already has it. Making it supernatural. This is already our new internal identity. And then this can reflect, this can manifest. But this is this loop that so many people are in, right? They look at what currently is present in their life, which is just something that they previously, identified with, and now it's manifested. So they look at this and they just get more of this because they say, okay, this is how it is. And I remain here and I place my awareness on this again. And then they see more of that again. But if you don't like what is currently showing up, you have to break that in a sense. You have to break out of this vicious cycle. You can't place your attention on what is currently there. No, you have to place your attention on this new self-concept, on this new identity, on this new state where something new is already natural to you. And only then will that portion of creation open up to you. Only then will this manifest for you because you made something new natural for yourself. Right? And your inner nature, your inner state always has to be reflected back. Check out the video I did on this, which is called that your state always reflects on the screen of space and in your circumstances. Okay? So people, and I also observed that, right? Many people, they seem to enjoy recounting their problems, right? They seem to, enjoy just talking about the negativity and the latest news where negative things happen and the problems and what is currently not working out. And for some reason, for some really ununderstandable reason, this gives them pleasure. But again, this also can't move them forward, right? So not like talking about your problems will not help you. That's just a statement here, right? And also Neville saying people cannot believe that all you need to do to see new circumstances, right, is to state your desire clearly, is to choose it, is to pick it, is to make the decision that this is who I am right now instead of who I am right now, right? The desire does exist. The desired state does exist. You could not even be aware of that if it would be not already within creation. But it desires a bold assumption. It desires a bold decision for that new state. Right? When I wanted to be, this and that, healthy and in a relationship and in the business and manifest this and that, I had to decide for it. Right? You can't just wait and be like, okay, I just do the things that I did all the time and wait until life maybe gives me new results. Life will give you the same result if you don't choose something else for you internally. Only if you make that inner shift to a new state, to a new identity, to a new self-concept, to being in the wish fulfilled and to the end, only then life can give you new circumstances and molds around that new state. Okay? So you have to get clear on it and decide for it, right? Occupy it, choose it, pick it, assume it. And again, like I said earlier in this video, there will be no proof, first of all. Right? You can't expect proof, first of all. You decide for it and then the proof will come in terms of new circumstances, right? In form of new circumstances. And if you believe that imagination creates reality, you will never allow yourself to dwell on your problems, right? If you realize that where you dwell on within, what you entertain within, what you give your attention to, what you make natural for yourself, if you know that this will create more of the same, that this will create your circumstances, then you will never do that. Why would you do that? Why would someone that realizes this principle entertain negativity, unwanted states, negative images, undesirable images and states? It would not make any sense, right? If I catch myself, imagining things that I don't want, I simply gently cut it and maneuver into only entertaining within myself on what actually is desirable, on what actually I do want to experience. And then this is what shows up, right? It's pruning the vine, cutting all the branches, the undesirable states out of your life and only entertaining that what you actually do want. Only giving life to the states and the wish-fulfilled states that you do want to manifest. Okay? Because again, if you dwell on your problems, you will realize that as you do that, you perpetuate them. And you get more of the same. And you get even more of these problems. Right? So whatever your problem currently is, whatever your undesirable circumstances right now, that is okay. That is what brought you to this principle. So you have a desire. And the desire does exist. It's a gift, but you have to let it in. And you can let it in by experiencing it as being fulfilled. So you go into the wish-fulfilled state. You make it natural. You identify with that end. The desire fades away because you now are it. You now have it. And then the mirror of life will give you these manifestations in terms of in form of the new circumstances that you do want to have a life in your life. Right? Very easy. Desire, going to the end. If you slip out of that, going back to the end, making it natural. At some point, desire fades away because you are it. You made it natural for you. And what is your nature you can't desire? Or you can't, imagine any longer? Or do techniques for any longer? It's like if I tell you, imagine right now what your name is. After 1 or 2 times, this would be super boring for you because that's so natural for you. That's so certain to you that if I tell you that your name is, something else, you'd be like, wait a second, no, that's not me. So the same happens when you make a new state natural, right? When you make the end state where you have what you want to have, when you are who you want to be, when you make that natural, the current circumstances will seem unnatural. They will seem old and not like you any longer, not like, a being relevant for you. You might still see them, but you won't be bothered by them because you made something new natural. You shift into the end state. And the more you do this, and as soon as this becomes natural to you, this is then what your life gives back to you, right? You entered a new portion of creation. You entered a new room, a new state of consciousness, which will lead to new results, to new manifestations, to exactly the things that you want, right? What you want does exist and is available, but it can't show up. It can't be given to you if you don't give it to yourself, right? Like this quote from Neville. I don't know the exact lines, but basically, man gets what he first gives himself. So you can only get what you first of all have natural for yourself within, right? You can't get the more money if currently having more money seems unnatural and you still want it and you need it and you desire it. But as soon as you make it natural and stable and this is certain to you, your life will reflect it back to you in form of the manifestation. Same with the relationship you want, the health you want, the business success you want, the new lifestyle you want. That is all a result of that inner shift that you first did. Okay? So that's this quote, right? Key message here is don't dwell on your problems. Don't dwell on the current undesirable circumstances because you just simply will get more of them. And that is a cold, harsh truth. It might sound like a cold, harsh truth, but that is literally how it works. So in order for you to get new experiences, you have to let the facts be the facts, but choose what you actually want and go into the end, aka your desired state, right? If you would like to learn how this works, what is relevant for you to succeed, why some people fail with this and delay their manifestations, and what is really important, then just feel free if you want to check out the free masterclass that I prepared. That is linked in the video description and in the pinned comments. Just check that one out. And if at some stage, at some point in your journey, you see, okay, I kind of get these principles, but I want to connect the lost dots. I want to have you to keep me accountable during this journey. I want to work with like-minded people. I want a program that really clearly points out the structure and helps me to implement this and see shifts, finally see movement, finally make things happen, where this isn't just a hearsay thing, like, oh yeah, matching creates reality, oh yeah, shifting states and all of that, but where this becomes a lifestyle, a thing that you do naturally and you have implemented this in your life, then you can also apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with me, with Upgrade to Life, where we're going to find out if we are a good fit, right? If you resonate with what I do, if this is a good fit for you, and then we can simply work together on this if you like to, right? That's the second link in the video description. And with that, I conclude this video. Talk to you soon, guys.